So I decided to pull for Jiaoqiu. After much consideration, and despite all the criticisms he receives, I ultimately chose him. He's good. His main issue is that his kit feels bland, and his gameplay can be a bit boring. The stress tests conducted on him don't feel like actual stress tests because outside of Acheron's team, nothing makes Jiaoqiu stand out. Whether he's in a Dr. Ratio team or a DOT team with Kafka and Black Swan, he doesn't bring enough unique elements to make those teams his own. When you bring Bronya into Boothill's team, you can see that Bronya's skill elevates Boothill's pocket trick shot to another level. That's what we call synergy. In the case of Jiaoqiu, however, he's just existing. People often refer to him as a Fire Pella or a Guinefin Pro Max, and I think they're absolutely right. Playing him feels very similar to playing them. He functions well as a debuffer, but that's about it. However, this isn't entirely his fault. Right now, Jiaoqiu is like Harmony MC before Boothill, Firefly, and other next-gen break characters were introduced. He lacks teammates who can fully capitalize on his debuff applications, especially within the team archetype he's meant for. One thing that no one can deny is that he's the best battery for Acheron. The problem is, we don't have other characters whose ultimates are unlocked by applying debuffs. If we see more Acheron-like characters in the future, Jiaoqiu's value will skyrocket. But that's something only Hoyoverse can answer. For now, the only thing Jiaoqiu offers is comfort. So how do I plan on using him? Obviously, Acheron is out of discussion. Even though I have her, she's still only level 20, and I have no plans to use her anytime soon. What I'm looking for in Jiaoqiu is his role as a Fire Pella. I really like Pella. She offers a powerful debuff, is SP positive, and has a good meter for dealing toughness damage. Against enemies weak to ice, she's a fantastic asset to my break teams. Unfortunately, there's no equivalent character for other elements. Guinefin comes close, but honestly, she's not as comfy to use as Pela, especially when it comes to meter management, which affects her toughness damage. Plus, she's quite fragile. Jiaoqiu addresses all these issues. The Mighty Firefly team is the easiest team to slot him into. Jiaoqiu can either replace Gallagher or fill the usually empty fourth slot, which is often taken by Ting Yun. He isn't inferior to Gallagher as a toughness depleter, so if the team can survive without a sustain, bringing him for more damage is better. Another team I plan to use Jiaoqiu in is Boothill. Like my Firefly team, this one also has an empty fourth slot. Since Ruin Mei serves as a pseudo-sustain in this setup, I typically place a toughness depleter in that slot to help Boothill break faster. You've seen different variations of this team using Hunt March 7th, Pella, Luca, Kafka, and Gallagher. If the enemies are weak to fire, Jiaoqiu is an excellent option. This experimental Hunt March 7th and Shui combo that I showcased a few weeks ago can also benefit from Jiaoqiu against fire-weak enemies. And if there's a battle focused on imaginary element, it's time for Dr. Ratio to enjoy Jiaoqiu's service. I'm sure you've caught on by now. These teams weren't specifically built for Jiaoqiu. He's there simply because he fits, especially when Pella can't contribute the way she normally does. Defense Shred and Vulnerability are the only effects that can boost break damage, so the options for this position are limited. As for DOT teams, will I use them in the future? It's unfortunate, but my Kafka just can't keep up with the meta anymore. I used to rely on her as a break support because of her ability to trigger DOT, but now break teams have monsters like Boothill and Firefly who need different types of support. My Kafka is practically useless now. But as you can see, my Black Swan is level 40. I'm slowly leveling her up because she seems to be the only character capable of keeping DOT relevant. I've tried using other DOT characters, and their damage output is laughable. I don't make this video to convince you that he's good and pull-worthy. We've moved past that. You've seen the math, the showcases, and all the discussions. Whether Jiaoqiu is good, bad, or even trash depends on your perspective. And I'm sure you've already made up your mind. It's too late to change anyone's opinion, which is why I'm publishing this video a week after his release. I'm just letting you know that I pulled him, and you'll see him in my showcases when the situation calls for it. Besides, I have a hunch that he's going to be big in the future. His whole situation is, I don't know how to put it in line, too suspicious. A comfy character with potential that is hated because the gameplay is boring. I've encountered this before in Genshin Impact. What was it? Ah yeah, Kokomi.